Yes, Tony, you spoiled it.
No, I did not. No, I did not. That was my question, and I didn't.
Yes,
you know
did.
I didn't. You know I didn't. Don't do that. All I said is there was a twist. My bad. There's 700 twists in the movie.
No, you said, okay, spoiler.
Starting a segment.
And action. I was about to give context, Chris, and then we stopped.
Yeah, his mic was on. Having a conversation.
His mic was not on.
No, Amin's mic was on.
Oh, I just turned it on.
Yeah, but then Stugotz's voice was wafting.
No. All right.
Fart.
Go ahead, Jess.
Tony, you did spoil
No, I did
it.
not. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. You know I didn't spoil it. My bad. There's 700 twists in a movie. Like,
no.
So on Mystery Crate a few weeks ago, Tony spoiled part of Glass Onion.
no, I didn't.
After the theatrical release, which lasted a week, before it was out on Netflix, he said a certain character had a big twist.
Has a twist.
He
Didn't he say there was a twist in the movie?
Yes, I did.
He said which character had a twist. Named the actress /
I named the actress and I said,
Good
hey,
way.
there's a twist there
No, but
that I liked.
I think that's the difference here of what we're really arguing. If you can say there's a twist in a movie and that's not spoiling it. If you say where the twist is, I kind of with them.
Exactly.
That does give
too
many details.
We should give a spoiler warning to anyone.
Again?
Mike still hasn't watched
Mike
it. He's
hasn't
sitting here,
watched. All right,
his
maybe
hands
we
over
won't
his
spoil
ears.
it then. But Tony already did.
I
so
didn't spoil it. That's not true.
How do we
Mike-
talk about it without spoiling it?
Yeah,
You tell Mike to get out of the room.
Okay, Mike, get out of here.
Leave.
We're gonna have an
no, he
entire
doesn't-
segment
He doesn't know
about
what
it.
we said. Mike, leave. We got to spoil
Can you,
this.
Yeah,
can you
leave,
read
leave,
your
leave.
lips?
Yeah, I know.
No, we're not talking
I'll tell
about
you
it.
when
You're
it's
good.
safe. I'll tell you when it's safe.
Yeah.
All right.
And you're clear.
If
Okay.
you haven't seen Glass Onion, skip ahead a few minutes.
Or if you want to get, watch it with a different set of eyes, which I appreciate.
Whose eyes are you watching it with?
The
Why
different
would you
set
do
of
that?
Well, because sometimes I like going into a movie and really seeing what's not there. You get me?
Sure. Did you guys like it?
Yeah, I liked it.
I liked it. It was like, to me, it's like the first Knives Out. It's like, oh, that was a fun movie.
Yeah.
It was a fun movie. And Glass Onion was a fun movie, even though I do not like Janelle Monáe at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Watch out, there's a twist there.
Okay.
How do you feel about her acting career so far?
I'm out on everything Janelle Monáe.
She was ass off in this
Why?
movie.
out. I actually explained this on the latest episode of Cinephobe that we recorded.
What's Cinephobe?
Oh, Cinephobe is the podcast where Zach Harper and I watch movies that are poorly rated on Rotten Tomatoes and try to ascertain whether they're accurately rated or maybe didn't get a fair shake. Cinephobe. It's produced by Anthony Mays. You get it wherever you get podcasts. And the episode I recorded was Men in Black International, which featured Hemsworth, I think Chris Hemsworth. I'm not sure which Hemsworth it is. And Tessa Thompson, who I also am out on.
What?
Yes, but I won't give away the reason why because that all appears on that episode that comes out a week from today.
How did this become an ad for your podcast? I don't understand
Well,
how
he was
you
out on
don't
It
Janelle
always
Monáe.
does,
That's
the
yeah.
why.
body
Yeah.
of work of an entire actress that I think a lot of people.
out.
She was the star of the movie.
Yeah,
No, she wasn't.
Yes, she
Yes,
was.
she
No,
was.
Daniel Craig's the star of the movie.
He's
good.
also
By the way,
the
can we
star.
talk? Can we
I
talk
love
about his
Daniel Craig.
accent? Can we talk about his accent for a second?
Let's
Do we
do it.
do we
Louis
like it? Are
Canuck.
we in on that or are we out on that?
I love it.
You love
it's
it?
Great.
I'm in. I'm all the way in. You know what I like about Knives Out, honestly? The first one was that I got to see Daniel Craig and Chris Evans break out of the typecast they'd been in for a decade plus. They got to be completely different people, and that was cool. And that's the same thing with this one, obviously, with Daniel Craig. I like this character for him. He gets to be from the South as opposed from England. He gets to be like a lazy detective as opposed to an assassin or whatever it is,
Yeah.
super spy.
I love detective shows. Like I am a detective show junkie.
Me too.
Currently rewatching David Suchet's Poirot on BritBox on Amazon.
What?
What is that?
Hercule Poirot.
Oh, Hercule Poirot.
Exactly.
Okay.
The little
That's
Belgian
French, right?
detective. No.
Oh,
it's
Belgian.
Belgian.
Belgian. Yeah.
It's a mistake that the English commonly make. It's an ongoing bit in
I thought-
Agatha Christie's novels.
It's also a fawn.
They speak French, don't they?
So I'll really watch
I'm more of a
any.
Lupin
I'll
guy.
watch any detective show.
Did you?
And I would watch a full TV series with Daniel Craig playing Benoit Blanc.
Yeah, I kind of. You're right. You know what? I kind of wish Knives Out was a TV show as opposed to a
Miniseries.
movie, or whatever. Like have little miniseries seasons or whatever. But have you seen See How They Run?
No.
That's on HBO Max right now. It's got my man Sam Rockwell. It's got one of the greatest names in movie history, Sam Rockwell.
Rock Hudson.
It's Rock Hudson. He plays
The Rock.
He plays a detective
Rocky.
at Scotland.
You're good. Thank you.
Mike Schur is here to deliver the stat of the day. Mike Schur, have you seen the film Glass Onion, and do you have any Knives Out takes? I know you don't like saying whether you like or dislike things because then your buddies in the biz will text you about it, but what can you reveal to us about Rian Johnson's film Glass Onion?
I'm happy to say in this case that I loved it. I love all his movies. I want him to make one of those every 2 years for the rest of my life. They're great.
That
Yeah. They're
would
just
be
great.
awesome.
They're super entertaining. Yeah.
I will say the one thing that I did, this isn't a spoiler, the one thing that we didn't need in this movie was any of the COVID plotline stuff. It took too long to set it all up.
Weird.
It just wasn't necessary. I don't know why.
The shot thing, I was like, okay.
They didn't even really explain what that was. You just kind of have to assume it's like some COVID.
Well,
cure
I
thing.
think he did it partly just to say that Benoit Blanc was going crazy in his house alone. That the world had shut down and he wasn't able to get out, and that's why he was in the bathtub.
Well, I did love that scene with Angela
open the door. That was
Lansbury.
amazing.
Yes.
Sorry, this is a spoiler. But I think he was just trying to say when he was denied his usual activities, and that's what made him kind of go stir crazy and why he needed the case so badly.
I guess so. I do want to ask you, this is the final spoiler that we'll give. So a month ago after the theatrical release, which I actually do want to get your opinion on that too, Netflix's strategy of putting it in theaters for 1 week and then holding it for a month and then putting it on Netflix, which I think they did because they want to get Academy
eligible
Award
for awards,
nominations. But only a week seems like they probably left money on the table with that because a lot of people wanted to see it and couldn't. But Tony told us after he saw it in theaters that this is what I think is the spoiler. Tony does not think this is a spoiler. Yeah, the movie was really good. There's a huge twist with Janelle Monáe's character midway through.
That's not what I said.
That is exactly what you said.
We need to go back into the archive and see exactly what I said.
And he's arguing and saying
That's
that's
not
not
what I
a
said.
spoiler.
I said there was a twist.
We don't need to do any of that. We can move on with Mike Schur and stat of the day.
Mike Schur, it's a spoiler, right?
Before we get to all of that with Mike Schur.
It's a yes or no question, Mike.
And stat
Say no,
of the
Mike.
day.
Just push through Dan, Mike.
Answer the question.
Yes. Yes, it
come
is.
on.
Yes, it's a spoiler.
Come on. I see what the agenda is here, Mike Schur.
Go sit in the
There's no
penalty
agenda.
box.
Look, if there's any
Mike Schur?
Tony, go sit in the penalty box for 2 minutes, please. And if I could send Mike Schur away, I would, but he's doing way too many things for us now.
Dan.
As a Meadowlark advisor, he's got a lot of jobs around here, and one of them, I've got real problems now. The reason I missed the first part of this segment is because I'm arguing with billboard companies now because the big business of Buffalo, Big Buffalo, is now not allowed. It's free speech is now what the issue is. Censorship, but they're not. The businesses are not allowing me to put up billboards.
Right.
And everyone around here is a coward. Everyone around here just wants to be pro Buffalo. And Mike Schur is one of these people. He's mad at me for going to war with Bill's Mafia.
I just don't understand how you people choose your battles here, how you pick your battles. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's not because, I think everyone has to love the Buffalo Bills. I don't care. Hate them. I love them. I don't care. But when you did this with LeBron, it's because LeBron had betrayed Miami. LeBron had left. What did Josh Allen do to you except beat you on the field of play?
Have a stupid face.
Yeah, Dan doesn't choose these battles. We choose them for him. That's the problem for Dan.
I get stuck with them.
I just don't. I feel like you're in a losing position here because there's nothing. You look like sore losers instead of the wounded party.
Yes. Which is why Dan is trying his hardest to run away from this and not push forward with it.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to get Billy off of at every turn. The analysis stinks. The Bills suck. Josh Allen sucks. Josh Allen has a stupid face. That's been our analysis of the most overwhelming Bills team of our time.
What if Tua played?
Yeah, they would have won comfortably if he played.
Yep. They should have won the game regardless. Yeah.
Stugotz.
Well, if I may, though, I have been thinking about your predicament, and I'm going to try to dissuade you from going to war with Buffalo, and I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to give you a list of 5 Miami athletes who are more annoying than Josh Allen.
Okay,
and
top
then maybe
5.
this will
Only
bring you
5?
some perspective. Well, there's really 8 because there's 3 OLIs. But maybe this will give you some perspective and let tempers cool a little bit, and you can have some perspective and back off your quixotic fight.
OLI, Miami athletes more annoying than Josh Allen. Go ahead.
OLI number 1, Bam Adebayo.
Oh, come on. What are you talking about?
How's he
Oh,
annoying?
Hey,
I know
Bam.
what's gonna happen here.
Shoot from somewhere beside the elbow, Bam. Try it once. Just try it once. It'll be fun.
What an annoying thing.
I mean, come
try it
on.
once.
This doesn't.
try it once.
It's not a more
Says
annoying.
the guy who roots for the great Al Horford.
That is not.
Al Horford takes corner threes down.
He does. You're right.
And drains them. OLI number 2, Tyreek Hill.
Wait. Okay. Hold on. No. Wait a minute. Though.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Dan
Yes,
knows
there is
where-
stuff. There is stuff here.
Dan knows where I'm-
There
Dan
is
knows where I'm
stuff here
going with
that is.
this.
He should be more than OLI. But I'd like to go back on the poll for a second at LeBatard Show and just put on the poll. Is Bam Adebayo's elbow jumper more annoying than Josh Allen's stupid face? At LeBatard Show.
This is going to come back 100%. First time ever. OLI number 2 is Tyreek Hill. Go ahead, Miami. Google Tyreek Hill. Arrest.
Yes.
And enjoy yourselves.
Okay. Fair enough. Way to ruin the show. Yes. But go ahead. Other OLI.
OLI number 3, the entire concept of heat culture.
That's not a person.
Not really an athlete. Way more annoying.
Cortez.
Excuse me. That's Udonis Haslam.
Exactly. UD.
Number
I
5,
think he might
Tyler
be on the list. Yeah.
Hero.
Wow, he's number 5.
Now you're just naming
Tyler,
people that play
yes.
down here.
He hates.
No, I'm not.
I thought Tyler Hero was going to be his number 1. I can't believe that
God,
he's
no.
number 5.
That's how annoying Miami is.
Yes,
There's
but
4
Boston
better
would
than
love
Tyler
him
Hero.
so much if he were a Celtic. Oh my
Savior.
God!
He'd be the
Oh my
savior.
God!
No, I would not. Tyler Hero is a haircut in a basketball uniform. And in the game where he sneered at the Lakers, he was 6 of 18 from the floor.
Number
Remember
4.
that, Miami. Larry Zonka.
Zonk.
Your team would have lost to this year's Bears by 60 points. Raise a glass of champagne and toast that.
Wow, Jesus, jagged edge.
I mean, Fields would have ran all over that team.
Montagani trying to stop Justin Field.
It's funny.
Dudes with actual tape, like masking tape on their forearms.
And
trying
like
to-
chalk, tape and chalk.
Number 3.
LeBron James. If Josh Allen ever leaves the Bills, he probably won't do it on a live TV show.
Okay, we have to take LeBron still though. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we have to
We
live
get
with
to keep him.
Zonka, we got to keep him.
Yep.
Number 2.
Number 2, Kyle Lowry.
Preaching to the choir.
Too low.
We've already covered this. Keep spinning your index finger in the air after every blocking foul, buddy. Go ahead. Let's review them all. Let's review all the fouls. You've never fouled anyone. They're all charges.
That's why he missed
doing it.
6 games. Sore rotator cuff. Number
Twirling his finger.
number 1.
He tore his labrum spinning his finger. Number 1, obviously, Jimmy Butler.
Oh, come on, man.
Most annoying athlete in all of sports. Any
What?
genre. Takes 13 mid-range jumpers a game, makes 5, hits 18 free throws. His team wins by 1. Miami built him a statue. Couldn't be more annoying. The most annoying human being I've ever seen. Forget athletes. He's the most annoying person on earth. Jimmy
Not a
Butler.
single Panther. Not
Or
a single
Marlin.
Panther.
Jeez.
Zero.
I don't know any Panthers.
Oh, okay.
Also,
Matthew Tkachuk. Now,
you know what?
that's a fine.
Panthers, get better on the forecheck, and then maybe you'll make my list.
Ooh.
You're saying Jimmy Butler bothers you more than any
By far.
human who lives?
By far, certainly way more than than Tyler Hero or even Kyle Lowry, any athlete.
But
in
you're just
Miami.
doing sports, correct? You're not doing humans.
No, I'm doing human. Now I'm doing humans. With Jimmy Butler, it kicks into another human category. More than George Santos. More than Putin.
Really?
So much more annoying than Putin.
I
Jimmy
want to hear
Butler.
this top 5 list now.
Putin does have a Super Bowl ring with the Patriots.
That's true. My team gave him a Super Bowl
He's
ring.
a champion. Let's do
Start of
stat.
the day, start of the day.
Champion.
It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day.
Nikola Jokic boringly dominated his way to a 31-11-13 line last night. He is now the all-time leader for triple-doubles by a center with 90. Wilt Chamberlain had 78. He's also the Denver Nuggets all-time assists leader as of last night, passing Alex English. He's also the first center ever to be his franchise's assist leader. He is also 27 years old and has only been in the league for 7.5 years. Insane.
He also has had
an insane basketball player.
The most arm scratches
Happened
of any
again?
player
By
in
far.
NBA history.
Happened again last night. His arms were
Well,
bleeding.
he has one that appears to be permanent now. He has one just there all the time, right under his deltoid.
He is going to be a 3-time MVP, right? And people are still going to wonder how good he is because he plays those West Coast games. Nobody sees them on television, either locally or nationally. And he's going to be like one of the great unknown excellent stars.
And he never plays in the finals. I mean,
but in the history of the sport, correct? I mean, for what you're talking about as a skill level, I present to you that player, and you're telling me that human being is better than Tim Duncan.
Offensively, I mean, he might be because of what he does on the court, the wide variety of things he does, and how he's excellent at seemingly all of them. In a way that Tim Duncan, I don't know, you could say that about Tim Duncan's passing, although he was a decent passer, definitely not about his shooting. I think the only argument you could make for Tim Duncan is vastly superior defensive player.
And rings.
And rings.
Yeah.
Well, there is that. As
a lot of them. Yeah.
As well. Are we going to open up some baseball cards today?
I mean, I thought we were doing that every day for 36 straight days. Right?
I hope so. If you want him doing more of that, because getting it here isn't enough, we've got 2 new hours of podcast out there where he and Joe do this for 2 hours. This is what Mike Schur, accomplished Hollywood elitist, wants to do with his time, all of his human time. He wants to hate Jimmy Butler and open baseball cards.
Real quick, before I do that, very, very quickly, I have another top 5 list. It's top 5 most annoying human beings on earth.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay.
All right, yes.
All right.
Number 5, George Santos.
Wow.
Really?
The rookie.
Number 4, Matt Gaetz. Number 3, Vladimir Putin.
Number 3.
Great.
Number 2, Kyle Lowry.
Oh, wow.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is skating.
Trump, too.
And number
We got
and
number one.
one, Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
Here we go. Opening up the 93 Topps baseball cards. Let's see what we got today. We start with Gene Larkin.
Ah.
Yes.
Gene
Doesn't have a
Larkin.
nickname.
Just an ah.
Just went Gene Larkin. I don't have anything.
Should be his nickname. Ah.
Like a fine wine that card's gonna age. Look at Mark McGuire, horizontal Mark
Big
McGuire.
Mac. Yeah.
That card
There
has
you
to
go.
have some worth. That's an Oakland A's Mark McGuire. Look up for me, please, what the worth of that card is.
Gino Petrelli on the Rangers.
Yes,
Look at that mustache.
he looked- yes.
This was back when men were men. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
guys?
Petro.
Look at the mustache.
I'm seeing that card listed for $15 and $30 on eBay right now.
And Mike, before we go any further with the cards, we have to be careful with the GoFundMe, but just tell people what it is that you're doing with some of this stuff here in the future, giving away the stuff that has value.
Yeah, that has now been sorted out. So there's a GoFundMe at gofundme.com/Poscast, POSCAST, where we're raising money for ALS research in honor of our friend Sarah Langs of MLB.com, who was diagnosed with ALS. A wonderful person, a wonderful cause. So please go and chip in some money if you can spare it there. Also, separately, Joe Posnanski and I are spending an enormous amount of time opening packs of old baseball cards and giggling on our podcast, and we are going to auction off the highest value cards separately, but also there's going to be a raffle. If you send an email to poscastraffle@gmail.com, you can enter a raffle and you get signed copies of his book, and he'll write you an original essay about a baseball card that you can choose and all sorts of fun stuff. Listen to the podcast and we sort of break it all down.
For those of you who don't know, and I know he feels bad about just getting in here and rushing through the promotion of all that. Joe Posnanski is one of America's great writers. His Substack is something that's as good as any of the Substacks you will find anywhere for value. And him personally writing something about your favorite baseball player will mean something to whoever it is that wants such a thing.
Right.
Because
if you love Gene Larkin, for example, you could choose. You could own this Gene if you win the raffle. You could select this Gene Larkin card, and then Joe Posnanski, one of the award-winning sports writers, best sports writers in America, will write you a personal essay on a typewriter, by the way, about Gene Larkin. So you will be the only person. It won't even be on the internet. You will be the only person in the world to own an original Gene Larkin essay written by Joe Posnanski.
Just want to update everybody on George Santos's Twitter account. The most recent tweet is the most recent obsession from the media claiming that I am a drag queen or performed as a drag queen are categorically false.
That's not a real tweet. There's no.
That was the thing that happened yesterday, that he spent time in Brazil dancing and performing.
Did you see the thing where he raised $3,000 to get a dog, a veteran's comforting dog surgery, and then took the money, stole it, and ran away, and the dog died?
And the dog fucking died.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
That's the dog dying is just chef's kiss on awful. You crowdsourced money. This is why GoFundMe wouldn't allow you to attach a raffle to this, because of the fraud that can be committed.
Kyle Lowry.
That ends in dead dogs.
Behind Kyle Lowry on your countdown.
Behind Kyle is but that shows you how annoying he is. He's almost as annoying as Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler. All right, here we go. Dave Righetti.
Yes.
Look at that, still in the league.
Rags.
Yes.
Rags still in the league pitching for the Giants.
Oh, that's late career.
Yep.
Sad Righetti.
He was still getting like 40 saves though. I feel like.
Yeah, but that was not no hitter Righetti. What they did to that man's arm is inhumane.
No regret it.
He had 3 saves in 1992.
If you were a pitcher, Dave Spaghetti. I mean.
Well, he's been doing this. Hold on a second, Mike. Stugotz has spent the entire time returning from Mexico just launching fat pitcher, fat outfielder jokes at me. And he wants to give you a barrage because I said I was a AA center fielder. He wants to give you a barrage of what my baseball player names would be.
Fat Rap. Hefty Grove. Steve Carlton Chew. Lefty.
Oh
Dwight Good and Plenty.
Oh, my God.
Bobby Fojita.
What? Is that
Tim Cakefield.
That's all he's been doing.
What a staff!
For 90 minutes, it's all he's been doing.
Bobby Fojita.
That was my favorite one.
You had it, though. His name's Ojeda or Ojeda, if you wanted to call him that. You had the fajita, and you didn't pronounce it right.
It was Mike's favorite one. I mean,
The Cakefield was solid.
Andy, not petite.
I'm going to allow it.
You don't get to decide.
That's very nice of you.
More baseball cards, please.
Sam Horn.
Oh, yes. I thought he was going to be
Lefty Masher,
so much better than he actually was just because he was giant.
Horny.
Well, he came up as a rookie and hit like 14 home runs in 40 games or something as a rookie, and everyone was like, "This is the guy," and then he kind of never really worked.
This is what's going to happen on the podcast, right? Little weavings into some baseball history that nobody cares about.
Here's the thing: if this subject matter, and by this subject matter I mean old baseball players, interests you, I swear to God, we have now on the podcast we've opened packs of like 1980 Topps, like 82, 81 Fleer, all this stuff. Joe Posnanski not only knows every player, but has an anecdote about every player. It is shocking. Like, if you think I am a baseball dork, I would like to introduce you to Joe Posnanski. It is really something to listen to, like, watch him just remember every single guy who has ever played the game and know something about them, including Shane Mack. Look at him sliding in.
Yes.
He was a really good player, Shane Mack.
Shane Big Mac.
Ah! Same note too, bro.
Should I have known Amin's Wally Berger? Is that a player I should have known from 19? You probably know baseball history, but he's saying I am remiss in not knowing that Wally Berger was a center fielder in the 30s or in the 20s.
No, that's familiar, but also he just Googled athletes with last name Berger.
No, I
He
didn't.
know who that was.
That's not what I did. The game that we're playing center fielders that have names that couldn't food or being fat or whatever. And so all these great names are coming out, and then some not so great names are coming out. I'm not going to point fingers or whatever. But then I said Wally Burger, and I got a dead fish look, and they're like, "You're not playing the game right." And I said, "What? It's a center fielder." They said, "Well, I've never heard of him." I said, "Well, why don't you do your homework and your research?" Because this guy was a 4-time All-Star. He led the NL in home runs one year. He was third in MVP voting, and he made about $86,000 in his career total, Dan. You know what that is in today's dollars?
No.
Neither do I. I was hoping you would.
Mike, the problem is he tried to do this after I had been called Rays center fielder Rico Aldelli. Like that's he hit me with a Wally Burger after that, and we just didn't know what he was talking about.
Frauds.
No, I don't blame you. Rico Aldelli's a stretch too.
Wouldn't it be Rico Albelly?
Even better.
Thank you.
Oh, that's better.
Even better. Yeah. Now you're playing the game correctly.
Look, it's Kent Herbeck.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's delightful.
It's also Rocco. I mean.
Oh, I'm sorry. It did make him Rico. That's right. Can you, Herbeck is just because his last name, nobody has HRB to start their last name.
HRB and a K and one vowel. It's fantastic. His big man name is just Kent Herbeck because he was already so big. Here, look, Eckersley. Look at that.
Is that him as an all-star? Is that him as one of the best closers ever, or is that earlier than that?
No, he's a little past his prime here, but he led the league in saves the year before in '92. I mean, this is, his prime as a reliever is like 89 to 91.
Listed for 35 cents.
Good.
35 cents. Someone can get that in a raffle.
Yeah.
A 35-cent Eckersley is available to you in a raffle that's not a raffle.
Not a raffle.
As is a 4-cent Franklin Stubbs.
Oh
my God.
See, Franklin Stubbs is from the Sam Horn school of I just thought he was going to be great because he was big and swung big.
Stubby.
Look at him. That's
Franklin Tubbs.
Hey.
Very good.
He's a good-looking gentleman, though. Look at that.
Yeah, it's very handsome.
Devil.
Broad shoulders.
Brooke Jacoby. One of your third baser that makes you smile, Stu.
It does.
Does he have glasses on? Does he have big glasses on in the photo? No.
He has. Looks like he has shades on that are flipped up. Here's Doug Jones. Remember?
Oh yes,
mustache too. That's a very good mustache.
But it's one of your favorite things, though, to look at someone like Doug Jones and say, "Yeah, he was a fireballer. He threw 91 miles an hour."
That's my favorite thing ever. Like Rolaids Relief Man of the Year or Fireman of the Year. It's always like Rod Beck, who was throwing 91 with a 73 mile an hour changeup. Jay Howell on the Dodgers.
Another flamethrower. He threw 92 or 93.
Oh, he easily touched 92. Oh, Charlie Hayes for the Yankees caught the final out in that World Series, that foul ball off third, remember?
Yep. Solid hitter.
Yeah,
solid hitter.
Jessica remembers that. Jessica, you know what I'm talking about.
I just looked it up. Doug Jones' fastball was 84 miles an hour.
Nice.
He was a fireballer.
He was.
That has to be later.
Intimidating.
But that has to be later in his career. At the start of his career, he was throwing 87, 88.
He was touching 92.
Are you picking on me because I'm a woman?
Whoa.
No,
Whoa.
I'm picking on you
kidding,
because of
Mike.
your obvious disinterest in what I'm doing
I'm
right
like
now.
4 paragraphs deep in an article completely unrelated to baseball players.
Is it about pickles?
She
Yes.
hates this game.
For the record, I don't blame you at all. I mean, what we're doing is absurd, and we're going to do it for the next 31 straight days. Here's Mike Stanley, the catcher.
I'm gonna get so
Mike
much reading
Stanley.
done.
And that's it. That's our pack
All right,
today.
the podcast. Check it out with Mike Schur and Joe Posnanski. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your time as always.
My pleasure. See you tomorrow.
I wanted to get Amin and Jessica's thoughts, particularly on some sound from yesterday that really had me smiling from ear to ear for a number of reasons, having watched the career of Stephen A. Smith. Because I just remember as he made the tour on his book, okay, a book I'm sure is going to sell well because he is getting
Straight shooter.
He's on Stern, he's on The View. It's Good Morning America. ESPN has done right by this man after firing him. His story is very cool, and what he negotiated here
Second chances and first takes.
is an ability to sell his book on all over their platforms. And Howard Stern interviewed him, and Stephen A. was talking about how he earned his opinion, being a journalist from way back in the day who had to fight in this business as he did to earn all the things that he has. And now he's full-on cartoon character, wrestling heel, soap opera star, literally does General Hospital. And yesterday, because television can distort you, and I consider this man a friend, and I've seen the way that television distorts people. Stephen A. Smith is always being maximum Stephen A. Smith, even while in a van of some sort, delivering an apology for 3 minutes that was really just the easiest of hot takes, which is someone asks you Beyonce or Rihanna, and it's a 3-minute apology in the van where he is in first take mode, and there is no seeing the difference between who Stephen A. Smith is in real life, who writes that book and the serious stuff about his biography, and how much he believes he's the character of always needing to be Stephen A. Smith, even for apologizing for something that didn't need to be apologized for.
I just got out of a first take, and I saw some headline that's circulating all over the place about my quote that Rihanna ain't Beyonce. See, I'm gonna own it. I know what y'all trying to do, but I'm gonna own it because I get paid to speak for a living, so I need to be more careful. I want Rihanna to know you're a superstar. You're sensational. You're spectacular. You're no joke. And you are a worthy person to be doing the Super Bowl halftime show. Having said all of that, I was answering a question from Sherry Shepherd, who took over the Wendy Williams show and now got her own thing going, and I'm very proud of her. And she asked me with a bunch of sisters in the audience what she asked me. Now, I'm a Beyonce fan. I think that Beyonce is not only a phenomenal performer, the phenomenal performer. And the only reason any kind of comparison came into play is because Beyonce performed at halftime of the Super Bowl, not just by herself, but one separate Super Bowl performance with Bruno Mars and Coldplay. And I thought those were two of the greatest shows that I've ever seen. So what I'm saying is anybody has to measure up to that. Last year with Snoop and Dre and Mary J and Eminem, I was like, Bruno Mars, Beyonce, Coldplay, big time. They got to measure up to that. Anybody who does Super Bowl or Super Bowl halftime show, forever I'm gonna say Beyonce, Bruno Mars, Coldplay, and then Beyonce by themselves. Michael Jackson could still be alive, and I would say it's gotta measure up to that. Eminem, who's one of my favorites, I would say that about him. Coldplay, when they talked about Coldplay initially for the Super Bowl, I was like, not enough. That can't measure up to Beyonce and Bruno Mars, or Bruno Mars by himself, or Beyonce by herself. I've always said that. I meant it as no disrespect to Rihanna. I know she's phenomenal, and she's my sister. Nothing but love for her. But Beyonce is my sister too. I got love for both of them. I just think that Beyonce is the greatest performer out there today. That's me. That doesn't mean I'm hating on anybody else. Doesn't mean I'm damn sure wishing for Rihanna to fail. I don't believe she's gonna fail. She's gonna be great. I'm just saying that I'm a Beyonce fan, that's all. That's it. Rihanna, go do your thing. I apologize for creating whatever brouhaha comes of this. I gotta be more careful where people twist it and turn it into something it ain't. My bad on that. Now I gotta go. Good luck, sweetie. Looking forward to seeing you perform at halftime during the Super Bowl. You know you gotta turn it out. You know you gotta turn it out. And I believe you will. All the best to you. Bye-bye.
First of all, he sounds really scared. Second of all, after Amin did his whole Stephen A. Smith thing on Wednesday's show, and I heard this on like my Twitter feed, I thought this was a script that we wrote for. If this had been a satirical script that we wrote for Amin to perform on the show, it would have been hilarious. But this was actually real life.
So, a couple things. One, you gotta love, as Chris pointed out, the extremely serious tone, but it's also dripping at the end. See, it's a serious tone, but it drips at the end. He doesn't end the sentence. He doesn't end the sentence like he usually does. He ends it in a different way. Little drip at the end.
He does.
And it dripped over the sweetie though, which it then became a video for Rihanna.
Yes, it turned into like a voicemail message for Rihanna.
A cameo for Rihanna. Like someone requested this cameo for Rihanna, so he does the direct appeal to her and gives her the confidence. I know you're gonna go out there and kill it. Right?
I feel like until he said that, she wasn't confident in herself.
No. Well, I mean, he gave her the stamp of approval earlier in the message, right? It says, Rihanna, you're a superstar. And she's like, I knew it. I felt it inside, but this is it.
I don't want to be a
validation.
prisoner of the moment, but I believe to be that this is the greatest performance of his life. This right here.
Hold on.
I want to write this.
Do you remember the Prometheus commercials?
He's a big Coldplay guy.
He's Brick. He's Brick from General Hospital, man. What are you talking about? This is his greatest performance. Please. Please.
No, but that guy on General Hospital isn't. This guy, this is a perfect. Mike talks about comedy. If I wrote this for Stephen A. Smith to perform as Saturday Night Live spoof, it's perfect. Just all of it, not just the drip, the taking seriously of like, whoa, things got too hot for me. On First Take, I can give my opinions over here.
I see what y'all trying to do.
But over here with Rihanna and Beyonce, this whole thing is too much for me.
I've seen headlines. I know what y'all trying to do.
It was like self-reflection. He's like, I need to be better.
You know what I like also? How he gives bona fides. That's a thing he always does on First Take when he talks about, like, I was talking to Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, who, of course, won a Super Bowl with the, like, none of that has anything to do with the point he wants to make. But he drops it to let you know, oh, me and this person goes way back. So
it's credibility. It's a staple of what he does. Yes.
So when he talks about, I was on Sherry Shepherd's show, who did a phenomenal job filling in for Wendy Williams, and now has her own show, and I'm very proud and happy for her. She's doing a tremendous job on that. Like, none of that has anything no one would have listened to that apology or that statement and said, wait a second, Sherry Shepherd, the one from the Jamie Foxx show?
It needs to be said, though.
It does, because he needs to demonstrate, look, me and Sherry Shepherd, I know her in her career.
But my point is, he's hitting all the one.
Yes.
He has been on television playing this music for 2 hours a day, where it's always, hey, you might only have 15 seconds of material, but we need 90 seconds here. And so you got to go into character to go be the person who just keeps filibustering. And also, you know all these people, and now you also have to give them your personal endorsement of, and this person is solid, Stephen A. said so.
Now, here's the funny part for me. He starts with the serious tone, and I thought, wow, he's going to go serious the whole way. There's no way he can give us a signature raising cadence. But then he started listing other Super Bowl halftime acts like a mean you fool. Of course, 50 Cent and Eminem and Coldplay and Bruno Mars and Beyonce.
He also wanted to avoid having to issue another apology to Beyonce, too. You can see him. He catches himself here. I can't be too complimentary of Rihanna because then the Beyonce fans are going to get mad.
And she's my sister. Nothing but love for her. But Beyonce is my sister.
There you go.
Also reached out, though, to the demo I didn't think he would. Coldplay,
yeah.
Also casting a very wide net so you can be in General Hospital and McDonald's. Just tossed out some Coldplay aggressively, I thought.
That's the standard, Dan Le Batard.
Is it?
Yes.
Eminem, who's one of my favorites.
Oh, him too? You got to reach out to that demo. That's a complicated demo.
Coldplay.
It is. You guys tell me, because I thought, just watching all of the performance art of all of the distortions that television has done to all of us, I thought at the beginning, he's like, man, I got a serious problem. Rihanna, Beyonce, I don't want to alienate these demos. But in the second or third minute of that, he was in full First Take.
He lost the plot. He's just naming acts.
No, because he went to the First Take filibuster of, there are things here to debate. There are things here. What is the best of it? Let me name everybody so that my book may sell and everyone may love me, and it'll be a wide net that I'm casting.
This would have been such a great bit for Amin to do.
I've always said that.
I'm so disappointed we didn't do this first.
Forgot to write that down. I've always said that.
I've always said that.
That is a staple.
It's a
and I need to
Let
add
me be
it.
very, very clear.
Staple.
Very clear.
Yes.
I've got
very clear.
Very clear.
It's not
Very,
it's
very,
not,
very
hold on.
clear.
Yes.
It's not very, very clear. It's very, very clear.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Right?
Could just be clear.
But
Very
no,
very
clear.
It cannot
Very
be.
clear.
It cannot.
Very
Which part of this are you not understanding?
Right.
I've always said that.
It can't just be clear. It has to be very, very clear.
I gotta add that one to the staple. Always said that.
I've always said that.
Because he has always said. I've
I've
always said that.
said that.
Are you guys in agreement with me that the third minute he just morphed into full bloom First Take character? I wish that Mad Dog or Skip were here to see this. I wish that, well, not Max. I wish that any of these guys could see me now in full bloom arguing with these fan bases. but trying to be very gentle about it in a way he never would be with athletes, by the way. Like, if he were arguing, is this person better than this person? It wouldn't be trying so hard to not offend anybody.
See you, Gary.